And welcome back to live coverage of the MCC Pro Series. Once again, my name is Tashi, joined by Clutch and Unishek of 343 Industries. We've got an MCC Pro Series tournament going on right now. You just watched the first quarterfinals match of the action that's been going on today. Before we go into the semifinals, let's take a look at the bracket and see how things have shaped up so far for today. So you can see there at the top, Inconceivable taking down HZF 3-0. Pryde 3-1 over In Control. Sentinels 3-1 over Phenoms, which is the match you just watched. Turning Point 3-0 over Status Quo. Whereas, real quick, what are your thoughts so far on that scoreline?
Yeah, all four seeds advancing. All four of our top seeds advancing. Kind of your typical tournament, I would say. No upsets so far, but I think that it looks like the road only gets harder for Sentinels, right? I think that Phenom Sentinels series was extremely close, even though the scores might not resemble it. And it's unfortunate that we're not able to see Phenoms play against some of these other teams at the top, but they will have opportunities later on in up and coming weeks. Super excited for our next match in Inconceivable and Pryde, because these are two teams that I think are very similar to each other, and I think that they have several different skill sets. I'd say they play two completely different play styles, but they match up against each other very interestingly, and I'm looking forward to watching them once again go kind of head to head at each other and seeing which kind of play style comes out on top today.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, before I ask you for your predictions, I want to ask you at home to share yours. Be sure to tweet at Halo, tweet at HCS, and hit us up on Instagram at Halo as well. Share your predictions. Let us know who you think is going to win the tournament. Would love to also see photos of your setup and how you're watching from home. So definitely connect with us on social, and we'll be sure to chat back with you. So guys, as you saw it on the bracket, though, first match is going to be Inconceivable versus Pryde there. Would love to hear your thoughts on this matchup and some of the players there.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this Pryde roster. And reasons being, I've always been a huge fan of Ryan Noob, just because he's played such an unorthodox style of Halo, and he always gives whoever it may be at the top, he always gives them problems. And I love that about him, right? I think that that's something that I really enjoy as a fan of Halo, is seeing different play styles and different metas for him. And I think Ryan Noob has always been responsible for forming a lot of different metas and creating his own team's play style. Picking up a player like Saiyan for this roster is huge, because Saiyan has so much individual skill, and he's extremely talented, and he's still so young that I think that he's only going to fit in perfectly with these three as they continue to grow chemistry throughout time. I think that King Nick it speaks volumes to me that Ryan Noob and Rain decided to stay with King Nick after not exactly the placing they wanted to have at the last DreamHack Anaheim Halo Reach tournament. That tells me that they see a lot more in King Nick than just a player that they should give one opportunity to, that they want to stick with him. And this team grinds, man. This team is always online, and they always put in the work, and they're always looking to improve and going over stuff. And I watch a lot of their streams when they practice, and they carry themselves very professionally, similarly to a Sentinels roster, and you don't see that a lot. Even amongst some of the top teams, you don't see that kind of professionalism come in. So I'm really excited to watch this team play, and I really enjoy watching them play and have success, because I know they put in the work.
Yeah, and John, obviously they have a tall order coming up for them on the other side of the map. They're going up against Inconceivable. It's the former Mantra crew who took victory at DreamHack Anaheim. Tell us about this team.
Yeah, this is our most recent tournament winner. We've got Ace, we've got Boo Boo Doo Boo, we've got Falcated, we've got Spartan. This team wants to stay on top, right? They are currently the kings of MCC. They want to hold that title, hold that crown, and make sure they don't fall to challengers like Pryde. Even though Pryde has made that one change, they've got Saiyan, actually, who replaced Reliable. It's going to be very interesting to see how Inconceivable stacks up against this newly reformed roster in Pryde.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Well, let's head over to the series layout and see exactly which maps and modes they're going to be competing against each other on. Remember, now we're moving to the semifinals, so it should be a separate map and game type combination here. And here you go. So game one is going to be Shrine Bomb. Game 2 will be Warlord Team Slayer. Lockdown Ball is Game 3. If necessary, we'll head back to Warlord for capture of the flag. And to close things off, again, I hope we get there because we're sure to see some sweaty stalemates. Shrine, Team Slayer. What do you think about this layout so far, and which team do you think it favors, Wes?
Yeah, I think Shrine Bomb is a game type I specifically want to pay attention to people like Boo Boo and Ryan Newbon, because I think we saw a lot of special things come from Boo Boo at DreamHack Anaheim on Sanctuary and Reach, and I think that is very easily translated to Shrine with all the similarities that remake has. I think that Boo Boo has done so many special things on that map specifically that he has an opportunity to kind of like go off with Snipe and like clockwork kind of find himself in another finals. But Ryan Noob, having played against him on a map like Sanctuary, creates a lot of problems, especially on Sanctuary Bomb, where he's able to get behind you. He's able to be in unorthodox places that you really don't expect the person to be in at this certain time. So it's going to be a cat and mouse game between those two, I think, that I really want to pay attention to. But it's a top of a series looking at the game types, and it's going to really depend on who makes the right plays.
Well, guys, we're jumping into the game now. We're going to start things off with Ace from Inconceivable. Take it away.
All right, we have Ace pushing down low on the Bond, trying to just fend off members of the Pryde roster, but it looks like just everything is going wrong for his team as they are now 3 down, tons of explosions going off, and they're going to be coming off the respawn. Pryde having that ring control, going to try and move that bomb forward.
Yeah, one of the things about this Inconceivable roster that I continuously point out is just their inconsistency. There's days where I think that they really do play like the best team in the game, and we saw that at DreamHack Anaheim. But there's also days where they leave a lot on the table and they get upset in a lot of games, and a lot of games are blowouts against them. It's going to depend on how they're performing well today to see where this series goes. But I am worried that they're not going to be able to repeat the same performance that they had at DreamHack Anaheim, especially during an online tournament. And I think that this Pryde roster has the potential to give them a lot of trouble. So looking for them to kind of weather the storm that Pryde throws out them early on here in Game 1. And then we'll see what the rest of the story is to be told. But I expect Pryde to come out with a lot of fire. And you saw 3 dead early on. But Inconceivable doing a great job of playing defense in that situation. And now we see Ace being a nuisance at Pryde's base. And how long will he be able to stay alive and deal damage?
Yeah, it was a very interesting push to go through rocks. It didn't look like anyone spotted him, so he was able to get really close as we now see him pushing into the hut. Oh my goodness, I can't believe they lost track of him. He's got the double, looking for the triple. We all know Ace loves to get those montage plays, but they cannot find the bomb player. He gets sniped, taken down by King Nick, who was just hiding inside of ring. That is so unfortunate for that Inconceivable roster. Ace has got to be wondering how that happened.
Yeah, I was saying, getting caught off guard right there, that's a little bit of an amateur mistake, and that just shows that there's a lapse in the communication, because they had spotted Ace back rocks. Multiple players had already called him out for sure. So for saying not to be able to connect the dots that Ace was still alive somewhere at his base and get assassinated right there shows me that there's a lapse in Pryde's communication and their focus right now. And if that continues, I expect this series to go Inconceivable's favor. But one lapse judgment, one lapse call out doesn't define a team or how the entire communication battle is going. So pay attention to see if that continuously rears its ugly head, and if it does, expect Inconceivable to kind of run away with it.
Yeah, for you to lose Sniper on base when someone on your team definitely knew someone was there is heartbreaking for sure. Looks like they might have traded out great shots from both Rain and Ace, but Falcated is the only one, Boo Boo Doo Boo, now off respawn, pushing towards their hut, trying to get control. It looks like Inconceivable's got a split spawn, 2 members in rocks, 2 in hut. They're going to be trying to push once again for ring control. It seems like it's been a little back and forth, but actually more in favor of Pryde. I feel like I've seen Inconceivable have to push towards that ring more often than anyone on Pryde's side. Am I seeing that right?
Yeah, as you say that, multiple slays go in the sides of Pryde, and multiple members of Inconceivable on screen are spawning rocks, and this is exactly what Pryde wants. Saiyan is unable to pick up a kill right there, but he's just kind of trapping these players back rocks and not allowing them to push out, so they're going to have to funnel towards the flag. And this is exactly what Pryde wants right now. If they're able to pick up another round of slays, this is going to result in the first arm and a huge kill on the Falcon right there, but off screen, Ace picks up a double and is able to subside any of the push that was going on right there. And you see on Saiyan's screen that the bomb is actually going towards his base, and he's going to be forced to go back in the ring and try and stop that pressure. Does pick up a nice kill on the Ace. King Nick also picks up a kill before Saiyan goes down. And yeah, that was an opportunity, what looked like for the first arm to go in the favor of Pryde, but Ace doing a phenomenal job of picking up a few very important kills and stalling just enough time to get the objective done and away from his base.
Yeah, we saw that kill from Saiyan on the rock side, but the rest of his team did not fare as well over on that snipe hut side. And it looks like we're back at square one. Everyone pushing for ring control as the bomb is bottom middle right in the center. I'm curious to see who's going to win. It looks like Inconceivable getting a couple picks, but Ryanoob getting a pick right back. Ace wisely backing down. There's the Rockets. It's kind of why I was saying it feels like we just hit restart on the game 5 minutes in. We got Rockets. People have snipers. The bomb was in the center, and we kind of just had them feel each other out for that first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think Inconceivable is completely fine with that restart because now Boobaduba has a snipe in a very high power position. Ring 3 here's got to land a body shot right there onto the player turret and landing another body shot onto Rain. And this is like DreamHack Anaheim all over again. Boo Boo with the snipe laying down a ton of damage while the rest of Inconceivable pushes up. Ace is picking up a kill. And yes, King Nick and Sam pick up a kill, which is going to leave Boo Boo kind of out for dry. That's all 4 dead. Phenomenal defense by Pryde right there to subside that push.
Yeah, so Saiyan actually took one of the players out behind Boobadubu, and then Boo Boo not either getting a call out or recognizing it, ends up getting taken out by Saiyan, who shuts it down. And then Saiyan, using his own sniper against him, hits 2 fantastic no-scopes, taking out Boo Boo. And now Spartan looks like he's going to go down. Very, very unfortunate events for the Inconceivable roster. It looked so promising with Boo Boo on ring 3 and snipe. But it looks like they're now just trying to hold off push. Actually, no. It looks like they're starting to move that bomb back in.
Yeah, you say unfortunate, I say great defense by Pryde right there is what we saw because 2 players were knocked to no shield, and immediately my head starts thinking that this is the round of slays that's about to come in to arm the first bomb in game 1. And somehow, some way, Pryde gets out of it, and they got out of it the first time. But we see a look on Ace's screen right now that there's 3 dead for Pryde, and it looks like they're gonna have to somehow get another round of these in order to keep this game 0-0. But great spawn kills from Ace and company onto the player spawning rocks, and that's going to result in arm number 1 going in Inconceivable's favor. Great job pushing the bomb all the way through the snipe to get it to the flag and force those rock spawns to pick up some easy kills. And Ace is still in control of ring 2. Falcated picks up a double off screen and finally goes down to Ryanoob, but the damage has been done. The lead is up 1-0.
Yeah, Ace putting like 2 shots in each player. Falcated comes in on that carbine side, cleaning them up, and it looks like they're going to be able to maintain this control. Actually, Ryanoob jumping back out, takes him out, and trades with Boobadubu. So 2 people go down for Ryanoob, and Rain takes out 2 as well. I think we're going to see a push from Pryde. They're out for some blood, trying to get this match tied up at 1.
Yeah, and St. Bomb, we said it in the last series, is a game type where it often does end 1-0, right? And I think that that's got to be in the back of the heads of the Pryde members, that they need to step on the gas pedal and turn this into a 1-1 game, because you don't want the clock to start to become a factor. There is tons of time left, 7 minutes in the game, but how often do we see 7 minutes of lapse objective play on a map like Shrine Bomb? It happens typically every Shrine Bomb game, right? So it'd be nothing for this next 7 minutes to have 0 scores go on the board and this end 1-0. That's in the back of the minds of Pryde right now. So look for them to kind of pick up the pace and start taking a little bit more risks.
I'm coming. Nice.
Yeah, as we see, looks like rockets did come up. Both teams were pushing for it, and everyone who went for it has fallen. They're just laying in the water, along with some blood, just sitting there. It looks like, I believe someone on Inconceivable did pick it up finally. Saiyan has the sniper, hits one body shot on Ace, backing him down, but also needing to back down because he knows his team has just lost King Nick, and the rest of Inconceivable has ring control and is pushing in. Ryan Noob with the triple shotgun, spamming the YY button in between each of those shots to make sure he can shoot it a little bit faster, and that might have been the difference maker as he takes out Ace. I'm now just curious if Pryde can hold off this push. Once again, we saw great defense a few times, but Inconceivable broke through once. Will they be able to break through a second time?
Yeah, it looks like Inconceivable has the mindset that they want to get a second arm on the board, and Ubadubu, being probably the last guy alive, does end up getting sniped by Saiyan, and Valkated ending up actually being the last guy alive. Needs to stay alive in ring, knows that he's going to get pushed from multiple angles here. It does look like he's somehow still alive, does finally go down to Ryan, but has he bought enough time for Ace to get into control? It looked like yes for a moment, but Saiyan Snipe says otherwise as he takes both players down. And now this is the Pryde push that we're looking to see. You see the bomb advancing on the P shot right now. Multiple players for Inconceivable spawning rocks, and Saiyan going off with the snipe picks up another double. That's back-to-back doubles. That's going to open up the rest of the map for his team. You see the bomb advancing towards the flag, and now these are the set of slays that Pryde need to get in order to finish this bomb. But it does look like Pryde's going to be able to push this onslaught back just a bit.
Yeah, it looks like Inconceivable finally finding their footing in their home base, able to take out two of the people that were in their hut, now kind of fighting at ring. So the initial worry is over. They need to just make sure that bomb resets. There it goes. But Pryde, not giving it 1 second of hesitation, immediately grabs bomb and tosses it towards the Inconceivable base, just to make sure, just as a little reminder, hey, we've got ring control enough to grab that bomb and throw it at you. You should be worried. We're coming at you. Saiyan doing a great job. Boo Boo Doo on a killing spree. It looks like this might actually be the spot that we could see an arm out of Pryde, Falcated with a great flank from main ramp. Oh my goodness, this is just getting out of hand.
Yeah, I don't think Saiyan's died this entire time, because I've seen him pick up about 3 or 4 doubles in the kill feed right now as he picks up another kill onto Falcated, and the bomb is stuck on the flag of Inconceivable, but Inconceivable doing a great job of picking up the kills they needed to in order to make sure that Saiyan's damage wasn't going to result in the objective, and they're going to let this bomb return on its own. Back to the middle of the map they go. And great defense by Inconceivable once again this game one to continue their lead 1-0. And it's almost a matter of Pryde looking at themselves in the mirror right now and saying, if we didn't get an arm there, when are we going to get it? Because there's only 3 minutes left.
Nice double out of Spartan, challenging for the triple. Oh my goodness. It's a ridiculous snapshot on Rain. That's going to be 3 down for Pryde. They're watching, trying to hunt down that 4th player. Boo Boo taking out 2 members. This should be a great push out of this Inconceivable roster. They are just slaying people down. That's going to be a killing spree from Spartan. More of his team needs to push in and get that bomb forward, though. I don't know what's taking so long.
Yeah, the amount of damage that Spartan is doing right now is absolutely insane, right? I think he's done 7 to 8 players worth of damage on this P shot in such a limited amount of time. It's opened up so many opportunities for the rest of his team to push in, but Pryde doing a good job of getting the kills they also needed to get in order to minimize the damage that was done and continue this to just being a 1-score game. They do take down Spartan, and for a second they are going to stop what appeared to be a phenomenal push for Inconceivable, but the bomb is still stuck in their base, and Ace is advancing with rockets. He's locked onto the turret for some reason. He needs to get unlocked before he shoots a rocket. Does get unlocked and picks up a kill onto King Nick.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately for him, the second rocket doesn't go anywhere near Ryan Noob, and Ryan Noob's able to take him out. Rockets are off the map, so that's a plus for Inconceivable, because right now you're sitting pretty with the lead and a minute and 40 seconds left in this game. You're just concerned about defense and making sure the bomb is on the other side of the map to where they will have to advance it and slay you a few times. And if you're a Pryde member, you've got to start flying. You've got to start getting your kills because you only have so many limited opportunity left.
Well, here is that opportunity. 3 people are down for Inconceivable as they all come up off their respawn in the rocks. We're going to be seeing Pryde try and get some shots from the distance, but Spartan taking out Saiyan. They might have already stopped this one. I'm just curious if some miracle might come in for that Pryde roster as we close in on this final minute of the game.
Yeah, this is a very important kill in the shotgun that's going to be attempted to be picked up on Falcon. I'm not sure of the player that he's fighting right now, but that player has to stay alive. And it does appear to be Ryan Noob, and he does appear to go down. And with that, it's going to be extremely difficult for Pryde to get off respawn and have all 4 players up and get the kills they need in order to tie this game. They do get a kill on the Booba Dooba right there. King Nick isn't traded out just yet, but Falcated picks up a double, and King Nick, being the last guy alive on that side of the map, is going to be all up to him. Does find himself in a one-on-one against Ace. Ace picks up the kill, and that's going to allow a little bit more breathing room as Spartan's going to throw the bomb off the map and reset it into the middle of the map. And it's only just a few seconds left in this game, and that's going to result in a Game 1 victory for Inconceivables to go up in this series.
That was really, really a great heads-up play from Spartan, just knowing that it would be, if he got it off, enough time for the match to be over by the time the other team could get that bomb off its reset and into their base.
I was trying not to fucking tilt.
Just
well, there you have it.
That final nail in the coffin.
And let's see the stats here now.
Holy Saiyan, 39 kills plus 20.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, plus 20 for the loss is always difficult, man. I mean, it's always pretty tough pill to swallow because mentally you're sitting there like, what more do I need to do in order to win a game? But you can't have that mindset because I'm sure that I always used to tell Royal too when he would go plus 20 and somehow we would lose like games in a scrim. I'd be like, honestly, like there were games where if you go that positive and you lose, you're not playing like as well as you think you are. Yeah, you're getting the slays. Yeah, you're getting your kills. But there's got to be some objective work done. You have to advance on the map more. Like, there's no way you should ever go plus 20 and lose. What you need to be taking more risks than you were is what that stat tells me. You need to be advancing on the map more. You need to be risking more deaths to get the objective done, because at the end of the day, the objective did not get done once for Pryde. And I'm not saying that Saiyan had a bad game, because by no means do I think he played bad, because you can't play bad going plus 20. But
it's true.
But I take less from that stat probably than most people. I think that there were opportunities for Pryde, but they weren't able to capitalize on any of them. And that's a testament to Inconceivable and their ability to be a great team and play defense when needed and step up when the moments arise.
Yep. Well, guys, Game 1 is in the books. We're heading into Game 2 here in just a moment, which is going to be Team Slayer on Warlord. Looks like it's starting up right now, but you know, super chaotic game type. Is any of these teams favored, you think, in Warlord Slayer?
Warlord Slayer is just such a fast game type, right? I mean, like, it feels like whoever catches fire individually, it's not like a team almost. It's almost like one player just has to have like perfect timings throughout the game and is really gets his feet on the ground and has a good like feel for the flow. And he's able to take over. I'm looking for Saiyan to continue his spree, and if he's able to continue that plus 20 performance to this Slayer, I think his team has a better chance of winning.
Yeah, we saw Ace getting a great nade there, right on his ramp port, getting 2 players weak, able to make sure that they get those first 2 kills. And it looks like 4-3. Teams are still trying to find their footing. 3 down for that Pryde roster, though. That's not what you want to see when you're trying to find your footing. Each team just trying, like I'm saying, find people, scout out where they're at. It's just chaos, like you mentioned, Tosh.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the fastest game types we have in H2A and in all of Halo, right? I think Warlock, Warlord, whatever it may be, was always one of the fastest game types, and it always felt like almost a free-for-all with teams, like in a sense to where like you don't know where everybody on the map is like you do in other game types. Like you kind of just got to play off your stream. Like, listen to call outs, affect them if you can, but play your game, stick to it, and try and dominate as an individual. And I think that it's like unique in that sense because of how fast-paced it is and how like all the information in the world doesn't necessarily help you on this map because there's so many different angles and so many different portals and whatnot that can change in an instant where someone is. It's almost like you can flap the map just by teleporting in any sense. So look for this game to be extremely fast-paced and look for someone like Ryan to kind of thrive in that chaos, right? I think that he does a good job of making games chaotic on his own, and Warlord Slayer is probably a great opportunity for him to like find chaos and find his little nook and fix his play style into it.
Well, Pryde are up here just a bit. I'd love to go to a listen in and just see what the communications are like on such a chaotic game type and hear how Pryde are able to kind of pull away here.
Dead. Nice. Oh yeah, weak yellow shotty foul.
Blue flag, weak, ace. Watch out, blue nades, ace.
Get two.
Right,
One health for it. Two health for it. Two blue nades, one shot blue nades.
On health on me. I got both blue nades,
Green, last guy, green.
Yep, green ramp.
Blue flags one. Green nades, the last three green, all three
green.
green.
I'm
getting Kimmo.
Green needles, one shot, ace. Dead.
Okay.
One.
Look at there, nades weak. I got away with Kimmo. Blue flag. Blue spawn as well. Blue flag weak.
One shot, green nades, boo boo.
Hey, I'm porting looking.
Alright, somebody. I'm getting yellow. I'm getting into
Blue
yellow.
flag, guys, I'm dead.
Yeah. Already dropped
blue nades and blue.
Blue shot my helper. I got one.
And
I'm out.
blue flag looking for you.
Bottom middle.
Blue health.
Red rampart. Bottom mid is me. Bottom mid is green shotty. Green shotty top mid. Green shotty top mid. One check top middle. Green shotty again. There's three green. Yellow ramp.
Yellow ramp.
I was weak. I got foul. Blue nades weak, guys. Watch out, blue nades.
Green ledge weak. Okay. Green nades turning towards this guy. It's green nades.
Top mid.
I'm gonna port on. One shot ported. I got one. I'm gonna have two. I got three. Last guy top middle. All dead. Spawning yellow. All three. All four probably. Okay, yeah, they're up. One shot.
The Ryan move is just going off right now. I feel like looks like they widen their lead here in favor of Pryde.
Oh my goodness, Ryan, that triple kill was absolutely filthy. He picks up one player. As he goes to the portal, he melees, throws a grenade, goes through. The nade blows up, gets the double, and then picks up the player who's right in front of him, weak for the triple. And his team is absolutely running away with this. They just killed Boo Boo Doo Boo, who picked up ammo. He's on a killing spree. He's got a flag under his control, and his teammates are just lasering everyone. Boo Boo Doo Boo goes down. This is just quickly become a slaughter as we've seen Pryde take complete control of the map.
It is a great rebounding game too from this Pryde roster and led by Ryan Noob and the performance he's putting on. Only 4 kills to go, and he picks up one that was going to make it 3, and a great shot onto Boo Boo Doo Boo, and it feels like I kind of talked like Ryan knew it was almost his responsibility to his team to kind of step up here in game 2 and tie the series up, and he answered the ring of that bell very well. Thriving in chaos, something that he's always done, and I think that this is example A when referencing something that man.
Oh my goodness, I was wondering if he was going to get that one more kill to hit the 20 mark, and sure enough, he got it for the 50th kill. Ryan Noob putting up a massive 20 with 9 assists in that match. You can see the smile on his face. He's loving it. You know he's loving it. That was a great match to stay on with his point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I was trying to say, like Warlord, Warlock, Team Slayer, typically one player is able to just find the flow for the game, and timings go his way, and everything feels like it's just perfect Halo. And Ryan was that player that game. He just felt you could tell he felt so comfortable with everything that was going on and where everyone was. And when such a fast game mode to everyone else on the map feels like that for you, it's always going to result in good gameplay and the ability to kind of take over like he did. And I think that just shows a testament to the skill set that he brings to a team and how important it is to have someone like that on your roster that can take over a game 2 when you just lost game 1 and your teammate went plus 20. It's like, what more does my teammate need to do in order for us to get a win? It's like, no, let me step up. Let me figure this out and take over a game. And Ryan, not known for his slaying, can do that in the Slayers when asked or when needed, I guess. And that's why this is going to be a really good series, and we're tied up 1-1.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, you mentioned it's like a free-for-all. Ryan Noob was actually one of our free-for-all winners, or multiple-time free-for-all winners. So he's definitely got that experience in cleaning up those weak players, and we definitely saw it on that match.
1-1 is our score. We're headed into game 3, which is going to be oddball on lockdown. So the first time we're seeing lockdown on the stream today. So super excited, and all you original lockout fans should be pumped as well. So we should be jumping into the game here in just a second. Guys, let us know what we're going to see here and what to look out for.
Yeah, I'm looking for, can Inconceivable get power weapon control? And are they able to do the damage that they typically are with the power weapons if they get it? I think if they're not able to control a majority of the power weapons, that we're going to see Pryde kind of run away with this game. But if we're able to see Spartan or Ace get the sword or the snipe and start to make plays with it, then that's going to result in Inconceivable kind of having a heavy win in their favor. But if no power weapons are able to influence the game to a certain extent, I really like Pryde's chances to go up 2-1 in the series.
Yeah, Pryde had a phenomenal opening to this game. We saw 3 members of Inconceivable go down on the sniper side. Only Boo Boo Doo was left on that S1, but Ace had a great flank through bottom middle before Pryde could get a full BR library setup, and is now putting down tons of damage. Got a double kill sword, and now we can Boo Boo Doo as he pushed across. They should be able to keep this library set up as the ball's right there. Ace has the sword, should be able to get the double here. Oh no! Just barely falls short by hitting that lip, and unfortunately Pryde is going to be able to take advantage, get a few more seconds with that ball and play it. It looks like that was Saiyan up there, who actually took out Boo Boo Doo after playing that ball and should maintain that BR control. So yeah, great play out of Saiyan, great stuff out of Inconceivable to open up this match.
3 dead for Inconceivables, and you see Ace pick up the snipe, but the ball is going to be in library already, and Ace going down as well, Saiyan getting a double kill, killing spree in the top left, and you see Rain at blue. So now all of Inconceivable is going to be stuck at snipe. They know Rain's at blue. They spot King Nick top mid, and the ball's at BR. They've got to find a way to break this setup, and a great nade from what it looked like Rain through to pick up that kill onto Spartan. But Allocated has got himself across top middle and into BR, but what kind of damage is he able to do? Is he able to play the ball in order to kind of break this setup? It does look like the ball was top middle for a second, but it's now back to bottom BR. And there's 3 dead. It looks like Ace is going to be the last guy alive once again, and the other team racking up the ball time.
Well, the ball has somehow rollen into Boo Boo Doo's hands, and they might be able to go for a green setup. They are on the board, finally able to get a few seconds of ball time. Spartan, now taking out Saiyan, has the sword on the sniper, should be able to at least lock down this portion of the map. It seems like for the past minute or 2, King Nick has been on that sniper tower, if not controlling it, just harassing the Inconceivable roster, not allowing them to even get snipe control so they could push across and get this ball guy. Now 70 points ahead. I'm curious if Inconceivable will ever be able to turn this around because they just have not had any luck in this match so far.
Yeah, some of these ball rotations have been pretty confusing from the point of views that I've been seeing. Not sure how the ball got bottom blue at one point. Not sure how immediately after it was bottom blue did it get into library from the other team. But it looks like it's resulted in a 71-3 score for Pryde, and this is a very comfortable position now that they're able to play in. And yes, this is one of those game types where all the team needs to do is get one good setup, and you can come back and you can make up for just about any amount of time that was added up against you. But it is nice to play with this lead, and it is good to see Pryde start off hot and be able to play in kind of a unconventional manner to where they haven't really had a great setup ever, but they're almost up 70 seconds, so they're doing something right and taking out a player with both power weapons and ended up absolutely destroying Ace right there, and that was a huge kill by Saiyan to be able to get that kill and not only have the ball rotate to library, but now you have snipe and sword top BR with Saiyan's control, and this is an opportunity for this game to really become a blowout.
Yeah, I was shocked at that push that double from Saiyan. I saw you like stand up kind of in your chair too. Now 97-3. This is quickly becoming out of control. But Boo Boo Doo on BR3, looking to try and make something happen. Spartan also just flying down, hitting that tricky jump from that closed elbow all the way down to sword to kill the ball guy and stop some of the bleeding.
Yeah, this is up to Booba-Dooba to find Saiyan at BR Tower and take him out. He knows Saiyan has sword, and he does a phenomenal job of finding him distracted by that player and picks up a double. And that's going to open up what I will say is the first opportunity for Inconceivable was to get any amount of ball time. They had doubled their ball time for the game in the last 10 seconds. And now they have an opportunity for a snipe setup, but Saiyan looks to just hold forward and try and break it what appeared to be on his own because Ryan Noob's under glass. Doesn't work out in Saiyan's favor. I want to see him kind of slow it down and get one good push to break this setup because you're playing with such a comfortable lead right now. There's no reason to kind of like try and break this setup all by yourself. And with this lead, like it's going to start to dwindle with the amount of deaths that you give up for free, and that's another death on our screen that he gives up kind of without having any influence on the game. And if this continues, we're going to see Inconceivables climb back into this game.
Yeah, I could understand that first push, like it was trying to catch that Inconceivable roster off guard before they had that full sniper setup. But that second one towards top middle to get the flank a little bit too aggressive and too much of an exposed route to get that player out of library. Now, once again, soaring towards top middle. He did get a kill, but he needs to wait for that help. Ryan Noob giving him that help, taking out Spartan. And now Ryan Noob also getting falcated. It looks like they've got a successful push across the mid map, getting sniper. Great hit right there on that player who barely peeked out. And now they're chipping, or they're ticking away at the clock, getting more time.
Yeah, for a brief moment, that was all 4 dead for Inconceivable. Saiyan picks up the snipe, and now they've spotted a couple more kills while they rack up more ball time. Just when you think Inconceivables is going to be able to have an opportunity to kind of crawl back and get a little bit of a bite into this lead that Pryde has built. Pryde does a phenomenal job of getting the kills they need and putting Saiyan in a great position to kind of set up with a snipe tower and get a few kills to extend this lead to even further. He does take out Boo Boo Doo Boo. Saiyan not going to having his medals on with that option. It's going to be just paying attention to the kill feed to make sure when he gets those headshots with the snipe. It does look like they finally are able to take him down, but at what cost? It looks like this lead is back up to over 100 seconds right now, and there's 4 minutes and 40 seconds left. That's not a lot of time for this Inconceivable roster to find a successful setup and crawl back into this game.
Yeah, and do you feel like this is because we're just seeing Pryde have a way better strategy on lockdown ball, or is this because they had that win at opening push and Inconceivable has just been on their back heels from the start?
I think that this Pryde roster plays such a different play style compared to a lot of other teams that it throws teams for a loop, and they haven't really had, like, it wasn't one setup that built this lead. It was 3 or 4 setups that built chunks of time at a time, and they rotate very well, and they milk the ball in a way that other teams don't really find success doing. And I think that can always throw teams for a loop, and it's reared its ugly head here again if you're an Inconceivable fan. That just the play style that these players on Pryde play with is just difficult to try and counter and difficult to figure out on the fly. And it looks like that's what's going to have resulted in this scoreline.
Mm-hmm. And right there, I saw a great route from Boo Boo Doo Boo coming up from blue to the elbow, up towards S1, got pressured from S2, faked the push towards S2, and got over to BR Tower while his team had that library set up. But unfortunately, it looks like a few members of his team are going down as we see Rain and King Nick pushing on that back BR Tower. They take out Falcated and should be able to continue getting time and extending this lead.
Yeah, it's like this Pryde roster's pressure never lets up, and it's continuously always being applied from different angles and typically like unconventional angles, and we're seeing it. The lead is 172 to 81 right now, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and they're not going to look to stop, right? I think that's something that's so special about this team is finally it looks like all four go down for them, but it almost is too little too late. You basically have to play perfect Halo if you're Inconceivable, and unfortunately, there's nothing in this game 3 so far that showed me that they have any plans of playing perfect Halo.
Yeah, the time is now working doubly against them for any second that Pryde might get. I'm curious if we could get an Inconceivable point of view here as they try and mount this comeback from that BR setup. We've got saying trying to take out the icicles and clear out any player on top BR. Now just pushing back at Falcated. I don't know if he needed to challenge that. Wes?
Yeah, hold up here, because this setup is very difficult to break for just any team, and they finally end up breaking it, but it is a 50-point gain now, and this lead did get a nice chunk cut into it to where there is still hope if you're an Inconceivable fan here in Game 3, because that setup at BR really allowed them to kind of crawl back into this game. We're going to see Boo Boo Doo Boo forced to make a play trying to push the ball top middle because, unfortunately, the setup did get broken eventually, and it might have been too little too late to kind of start playing as well as they did late in this game, because it could have happened. The upset,
it still can. And it might run out here in 1 second. They need to get that ball. I think that just that nade that pushed the ball a little bit away from their hands was the final play made from the Pryde roster. I don't know if that was a Ryanoob strategy or what, but they pushed the ball just far enough away as when it was like a 60-point difference, it moved it away and they got the ball right around at the 59-second. But Pryde ended up getting it and closing out that match.
Yeah, we were unable to see how that setup exactly got broken, but the fact that Pryde was able to do just enough to break that final setup was basically the straw that broke the camel's back. Great Game 3 by Pryde, right? And now it's 2-1 underdogs. Pryde looking like they are probably going to take this series unless we see a member from Inconceivables really have a great performance here in Game 4. And yes, every player on Inconceivable is possible. Like, that performance is possible from them, but you got to see it, and you got to see it now. And it's that inconsistency that is starting to rear its ugly head, and they're not necessarily playing the great defense that they had in Game 1. And because of that, the scores are starting to look a little bit more lopsided.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point because in Game 2, when Pryde needed something, Ryanoob stepped up to the plate and dropped a 20 bomb. And so we're hoping to see something out of Inconceivable. Maybe it'll be Ace, Falcated, we'll see. But we're going back to Warlord for Game 4, so that doesn't bode too well for the folks on Inconceivable. However, CTF and Slayer, obviously very different. What do you think Inconceivable needs to do here on Warlord CTF, guys?
Go for it, Wes.
I want to see them jump out and get control. And I want to see them start off well. I think if they can start off a game hot, then it's so much easier for their mental games to stay strong throughout the entire game. I think that if they fall behind and they like don't get the first flag cap, then that could really start to mess with the psychology of this team and their hopes of continuing their way on in this tournament. So I'm looking for them to get early control and potentially a very fast flag cap in order to kind of like brush off anything that's happened in these past 2 games.
I was going to say, I think they need to shut down Ryanoob. As we see Ryanoob now get camo, top mid control. I worry about Inconceivable's chances of shutting Ryanoob down and getting that complete control, like you mentioned, Wes, as the flag is already pulled for blue team. Ryanoob, 3 down. This was not how you wanted it to start if you're an Inconceivable fan.
No, and in the game plan of shutting down Ryanoob is much easier said than done, right? I think that, yeah, that's great to write down on the piece of paper, but going about how you're going to do it, especially when he's playing this well, is a completely different story, and sometimes it feels like an impossible task. And right now, Ryanoob still has not died in the first minute of this game. His team is up 1-0, and now I'm seriously starting to worry about the psychology of what is going through the heads of Inconceivable, because
my goodness,
this game is going to become inconceivable to win for them if they're not able to kind of stop the momentum that Ryanoob and friends in Pryde have kind of started off with. It's already 2-0 and it's the first minute, and they're picking up exactly where they left game 2 off, hot and looking for blood. And I think that is a very dangerous feeling to play against if you're the likes of Inconceivable.
Oh my goodness, Ryanoob out BRing Ace right there, shooting his body a little bit. I do appreciate your pun with the Inconceivable. I saw Tashi nodding with it as well. But now jumping back into it, Ace immediately looking back at Ryanoob off his respawn, trying to get that revenge and shut him down. He could only get 3 shots in him, and then suddenly Ryanoob, much like a Kaiser Sose, vanished. And no one could find him. Then 3 players down, once again for Inconceivable. I think that's Boo Boo Doo Boo trying to fight out of those red nades, but ultimately falls to none other than Ryanoob.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on Ryanoob's screen right now, but I know I just watched Ace kill him what felt like 30 seconds ago, and Ryanoob in the kill feed was on a killing spree, which means he picks up 5 kills in like 30 seconds, and that reminds me of the first spawn that we saw him have, and he picks up another kill. Yeah, when Ryanoob's playing this well, it's almost virtually impossible to try and like stop him or to try and like weather that storm, right? It looks like they are going to be able to put this 3rd cap in here in just a second when he comes off spawn himself, picks up the flag, and he's doing it all right now, right? Finishing that flag cap, up 3-0 in the first 3 minutes, and this team is clicking, and they found their mojo and their comfortability in this series and in this game 4, and they're looking to play in the finals today, because what we're witnessing right now is some domination, and this is what I worried for. It's like the inconsistency that we see from Inconceivable rears its ugly head again, because when they're good, they're great, but when they're off, they're going to lose, and sometimes it's not close. And I mean, it's a little bit of the recipe as a team, right? And unfortunately for them, it doesn't look like they showed up, but Ryanoob showed up, and 4-0, frying kids once again with the Sentinel beam, and it looks like this could be a goose could be on the loose this game, because this is a 4-minute game, and it looks like Ryanoob and friends really want to end this game fast.
Yeah, as you said, frying people, microwaving them with that Sentinel beam. It looks like that is quickly becoming truly a power weapon on this map. We saw it earlier with Snakebite. Now Ryanoob also taking advantage of it, doing as much damage as he possibly can, and trying to make sure his team can close it out 5-0. Doesn't want to give up anything to the Inconceivable roster.
Yeah, I think that I expect nothing but the pace to be continued here for Pryde, and they are not going to look to slow down and allow any opportunity for Inconceivable to get some map control and reset this map and their mindsets of what's going on, because right now they have created pure chaos that Ace is forced to live in, and unfortunately for Ace, that chaos is going to be met at the end of Ryanoob's BR once again, 4-0, and they get into the flag finally, and they're going to be able to start this 5th and final flag run unless Ace has something to say about it. Does take out Rain with the flag, but gets spotted immediately in this taking down shots, and they throw it up, and a great throw by King Nick to finish it off. And no matter what Ace wanted to do in that situation, it felt like everything was just overwhelmed, and that's a quick game on Warlord flag, right? And I think that rarely ever do you see a game like that go down in H2A, but that was a dominant performance by Ryan with the +12. And that's when you start to look over and you're like saying, we don't need you to go +20. Just play with the boys and help us get some flag runs going, and we're going to be good to go, right? And if this Inconceivable, or if this Pryde roster, is playing like this, they're going to give every single team in this bracket a hard time, and I expect them to have a very successful series in the finals if they're able to continue this heat.
Well, there you go. Your first team making it to the finals is going to be Pryde, taking down Inconceivable 3-1. I'd say it was a close series to start with, and it just felt like Pryde, something clicked. They just turned it on, and sure enough, in Warlord, just kind of steamrolled Inconceivable. So here's the series, just to see how it all kind of went down. Guys, any final thoughts on this series?
It just felt like you mentioned, something clicked for Pryde, and something might have fallen apart for Inconceivable throughout that Warlord Team Slayer match, and then it just stayed that way throughout the rest of the series, right? Rhino went on that massive spree, and then they just locked it down on Lockdown Ball, and Warlord, they never gave up anything.
Yeah, I think if I look at this series, it really wasn't that close. And I think that's a testament to Inconceivable's inconsistency and Pryde kind of finding their footing in the series after game 1 and running away with it. 50-40 is not close. 193-129, not close. 5-0, you probably shouldn't have been in the game. That's a dominant performance, and it's paid off for Pryde that they put in the time that they have put in, and they play just about every night, and that shows. And I think that, yes, I've seen Inconceivable scrim, but not necessarily to the same pace and at the same extent that I've seen this Pryde team practice. So it's something I always say, I feel like on broadcast, is you can't cheat hard work, right? And I think that the members of Pryde know that, and they're willing to put in that hard work in order to get the results that they want, and they're starting to get them.
Yeah, and you see here Inconceivable now finishing top 4. They're going to take home some cash, which is really nice for them. And they do have a few weeks to kind of go back to the drawing board a bit, but they're still within striking distance of a higher performance in future tournaments. But John, we just had a match end. I think it's time for another giveaway. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.